Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is our Simple Abundance year with Sarah Breathnach's book, Simple Abundance. And I hope you're having a nice day today. It's on the warmer side where I am. We're talking more about Sarah's entries in April 2020 about the senses. And I wanted to film outside just while there was still a bit of daylight. And I wonder if you'll be able to hear the birds. They just stopped singing when I started talking. That's one of the things. I brought my journal out to talk about some of the sounds that I like. I love the sounds of the birds. I always have bird feeders and bird treats out and bird baths, and I'm always welcoming to the animals in the yard because I like the sounds. I love music also, and just the other night I have Disney Plus, like I mentioned to you guys, and I put on The Sound of Music, and it was just, I found myself watching it and I had such a smile on my face. I was singing along. It just is one of those things, like, I know it so well, and it's like there's something about sounds and music, the sound of music, I guess, that can just make you feel comfortable and like that at-home feeling, like when we talked about the smells of home. So for me, music is very much a centering sense for me. And I love musical theater especially. So I was enjoying The Sound of Music. I like opera and classical music. I pretty much like something from every genre of music. One of the other things I wrote down is I love songs, like especially 70s and 80s love songs. I love the sound of ocean waves. I grew up near the ocean. I don't need to always be near the ocean, but there's something very soothing about the sound of the waves. And they even make those sound machines that you could hear noises on. I like summer bugs, like when there's crickets, and my favorite bugs are, we used to call them in my family, we called them I love you bugs. They go ch ch ch, like when it's really hot in the summer. Those are my favorite bugs. The I love you bugs. And I love the peepers, you know, the tree frogs. That I don't live in a place where we have water around that I hear them in the spring, but those are always the things that herald the spring coming, right? When you get near a bog or a little marshy area. We also talked about the sound of the rain. I like the sound of the rain. Trying to think if there's anything else coming to my mind. That was my list of hearing. Sarah says in the entry today, she shares a really personal story about how she had a traumatic, I guess it would be a traumatic brain injury, because a ceiling tile fell on her head and she lost some senses, like, in the hearing was impaired to the point that she couldn't listen to music because it would make her dizzy and everything. She's since recovered, but I can imagine that would be really hard. Like these things, when we think about our gratitude journals at night, we don't always think about these senses. That it's like, oh, well, everybody has these senses. Well, they don't always have them. They may not be born with them, or they might have an injury or something that doesn't allow them to enjoy the senses. So I appreciate the reminder to be grateful for something that seems very simple, even though not everybody has it. I'm glad I can hear, because I think for me, I would really have trouble not being able to hear, because music and speaking, I'm a very talkative person and I like to listen to people talk too. I think that would be really hard. I know you can communicate in other ways and in writing and There's the American Sign Language, but I think that would be a really difficult sense for me to lose. Sight would be hard, but I almost feel like hearing would be harder for me. I could, as much as I love the smells that we were talking about, I would, if I had to choose one to lose, I think I would choose smell to lose, because I'd miss it, but I feel like I would definitely still need sight and sound, and of course touch. You would hope that you wouldn't be paralyzed and that you couldn't experience touch. That's going to be tomorrow's entry. So how are you doing, and how are you feeling about the senses? Are you feeling like you're coming alive with the senses? I've been looking around my house a lot lately and thinking about the things that I see in the house that I really have it tailored very much to my taste, so I like it. And I think I shared with you guys when we talked about the color entry that I don't really have a lot of color, but I have a lot of color in my ornaments and you know, wall decor and stuff, so it doesn't feel like it's bare. But I was kind of thinking like, ooh, I could do an accent wall. You know, I haven't done any painting in this place that I live now. I don't know. I think it's all because of the book, though, because I've been thinking about these things. And tonight, even, I was just going to check my mailbox. I have to walk a little ways down a little road to get to my mailbox, and I was just talking to a cardinal. He was singing his heart out, and so I love the birds. And I think a lot of times when you hear them singing, it's another heralding of spring. And I am ready for spring, because I feel like we're still really in sort of winter gloomy weather, but we had a bit of sun today, so that's good, and I'm glad to be outside now. I love my backyard and my patio. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you subscribing and liking, and all your comments are so fun to read. Glad to have you guys here with me, and I will see you next time. Thanks again.